When we last left off, Brian was a big piece of shit and nobody liked him. And in this episode, we find the one person that likes him. Oh, Brian. You. Everybody knows me and Brian, we got a cute thing going like Batman and Robin. No, I meant to say Batman and Joker.
What if I can't count on her when we are together?
We start off and Brian is worried about Ingrid not wanting to be his caregiver because of course Ingrid doesn't want to wipe this grown man's ass all her life. She wants something better for her and her kid. She already has one kid. She doesn't need two. So what do? They do? They go up and they meet Brian too. Well, he calls himself Brian 2, but I'm pretty sure Brian 1, not our Brian, Wheelchair Brian. I'm pretty sure Wheelchair Brian is a piece of shit, so he'd be better as being called Brian 2. And this guy's probably more peepee. You know, this guy, I'm gonna make fun of this dumbass piece of shit because he's friends with Brian, so he's guilty by association, okay? I'm not even gonna mention how many things Brian grabs in this episode. Fish, hand, gate. We'll just call Brian the Flobster. That's his new nickname. Flobster! Hey, is that the Flobster? Yes, it is. Is he gonna do anything interesting? Not at all. So they sit down and nothing really happens. They just talk, blah, 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 boring. But then one thing happens. We find out about Brian's past marriages and his past fiancés. We knew about that in the first episode, but guess which one of these people didn't know about that? That's right, this dumbass piece of shit never told Ingrid about his 4 marriages. She only thought he was married twice. That is one big ass lie to tell somebody.
Quantas, Brad?
3. No.
And then he does this stupid ass high pitched voice that he always does. He curls up into this little ball and he goes, woo, woo. And that's how he talks every time he's caught in a lie, and I hate it. I hate all of that. I can't even stand looking at this guy. He's so goddamn disgusting to me. He's a piece of shit.
Então ele falou que não tinha dito que.
He starts gaslighting Ingrid because of his age.
She's not good with math. I have a 31-year-old daughter. How the I'm gonna be 45.
He's blaming her for not knowing his real age because she didn't do the math. But knowing this dumbass, he probably did have a daughter when he was 11 because Brian sucks. Alright, so Predator Brian. I call him Predator Brian because of one thing and one thing alone. He says he's younger than he actually is, and his reason for that is because he doesn't want...
Não, era na internet, porque não queria mulher de 50 no meu perfil.
That's right, he doesn't want old ladies to hit on him. So he's only going after young ladies. I bet, like, if To Catch a Predator was still around, he'd be on that show. 100%, I wouldn't doubt it. He'd be like, and now for a Predator first, we have this man named Brian. And as he's willing up, we're about to will him out. I don't know, you know, something dumb like that. And then Chris will be like, hey, can you have a seat? And Brian will be like, I'm always sitting, you So he doesn't want people his own age hitting on him, and he laughs at the fact. It's the double standard, I guess, because he's 50 and she's getting with a 50-year-old. So now she has that ick factor that he has towards, I don't know, it's just... I mean, I get it. There's preferences and people have their own preference and they want what they want, and you can't force somebody to want what they don't want. Bozo! Where was I going with that? I honestly didn't expect that edible to work so damn well, and I've lost my train of thought, but I don't give a shit. It's going bye-bye, and I don't want to grab it and put it back in because it's about Brian, and the less I have to think about Brian, the better.
I mean, we're going in a circle, and I wish she would judge me for my current actions and not my past.
She is, you fucking dumbass. She's 100% judging you on your current actions. That's what she's fucking doing. What God, Brian, shut your filthy, dumbass, lying whore mouth. I wonder how much of that stuff I actually have to bleep. But I hate this guy. He's always thinking it's everybody else but himself. She's blaming you on what you're currently doing. You're currently lying, not truthful, leaving halves out. You suck. You're the worst person ever, and everybody goddamn hates you. And that's Brian. He just lies to Ingrid and keeps her in the dark. We also get to meet his friend, the shitty Brian. Well, Brian's the shitty Brian, so I don't know. the least shittier Brian, but you're still friends with Brian, so you're God, how many times am I saying Brian? Take a shot every time I say Brian. Don't, you'll die. Let's talk about Via. Okay, we got time. Nothing happened with Via. I have notes. They're not important. Via comes and goes like a fart. So we see the whole recap of last time with her walking out and then him being like, oh, this is bullshit. I don't like this. And her, I'm gonna still pose voice because she does a great Via voice and I think it's better than Via's actual voice. So I'm gonna try and, replicate that. I don't want to have to ever decide. That's not Poe's voice. That sounds like Igor. Whatever. Igor's a good voice also. I don't want to have to decide between you two. Then fucking Sonny, being the insecure little dick that he is like, you need to decide right now, for on my unibrow, if you don't decide, I will chop off my unibrow and have nothing to do with you and I shall leave. And she's like, I choose you, Pikachu. So they go back into the bar so they could both break up with Rory. That's gonna be a really weird next episode. I feel like that could have been a part of next episode, but I guess we got this episode. Whatevs. Oh well guys, that's it for today. This is Dee-man Johnson III. I'm proud of you and you're doing a great job. Until then, just remember, Merry Christmas, even though it's not Thanksgiving yet.